Hi, everybody. This is Goldilocks, also known as Sarah, from Pearls of Wisdom and Food with the Carnivore Way of Eating, the Carnivore Lifestyle, the Carnivore I Never Thought I'd Feel So Good channel. So there you go. I like being Goldilocks. I'm Goldilocks with my steak. I'm Goldilocks with my um, eggs. I'm Goldilocks with my coffee, especially. And it's a very simple lifestyle. So I feel that I can like my coffee just the way that it is and like my eggs cooked just the way they are in Kerrygold butter, don't you know? And then my beloved ribeye steaks, you know, smoked on the big green egg on Sunday and then reheated in the cast iron pan. But tonight's going to be different. Tonight is a pork chop, and it was smoked on the big green egg, and it will be finished off in the air fryer. They did it. It did a great job of air frying, and so I'll have that with a couple of scrambled wet eggs for my OMAD, and it just works. And I'm very lucky that way because I don't get bored, and I love the samplings of the carnivore food plan. I do like the fact that I can eat eggs, and I do appreciate that I can have dairy limited. I switched to Keto with that in mind. It's the unsweetened creamer, and you get it in the dairy section. It comes also in hazelnut and vanilla, which are sweetened with monk fruit. Way too sweet for me. I gave up sweet a few months ago, and it was a whimsical decision. I just felt that it would probably be best. It was the same when I gave up gum. And I was never addicted to the diet sodas, but definitely gum. And I loved my heavy whipping cream in my coffee. But if I gave that up, then there would be plenty of days where I didn't have any dairy, and I like that. In my coffee, I have my first cup is black. My first cup is black. It's gone right now because it's after 10 in the morning. So I've already consumed that. And my next one is Wicked Joe's Organic Italian Coffee. And it has in it ghee, pink Himalayan salt, and the Keto non-dairy unsweetened creamer, Kitu, if you're interested. I buy mine at a retail store, so it should be available, but if not, Amazon does carry it, and it's the sort of thing where, you buy it refrigerated, although it says refrigerate after opening, but that's the most logical place you'll find it in the retail grocery stores. I do love it. My beloved Plugra butter is on sale this week, two for five, two 8-ounce packages for $5. And I get these salted. And so I'm a happy camper. They say there's a meat shortage that's coming down the pipelines because of all the people that got sick at their jobs. So be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping it does not affect my Brazilian butcher. And when we do cook the ribeyes on the big green egg on Sunday, I immediately I cut a couple in half, and then I freeze in quart-sized bags the half of steaks, and so they don't get histamines on them. Google histamines if you want to know what I'm talking about. Kind of like oxalates, a well-hidden thing. One more thing, right? You thought carnivore would be a simple thing, but you don't want to leave your meats in your refrigerator too long without having that possibility of the histamines building, and they can affect people in ways that heretofore, I love that word, we didn't know about. So yeah, well, this is a new one, and although it might not be new for the last 2 months, but it's very, very interesting. And you know, when you have to go into your stores and there's arrows and there's the 6 feet and you have to go over here and then you have to go down there and then you have to, so people aren't doing this in the store in a perfect world, but most don't read the arrows. And I've been guilty of it too. And some people are like me, they only need one item, right, in that aisle. So instead of going down the aisle, they kind of, park their cart, kind of walk down, get the item, and move on to the next. But one of the most funny, if not most ludicrous part of it is the naughty foods in certain aisles where the line for the cashier forms. And I know in my Whole Foods and my oftentimes Stop and Shop, oftentimes Shaw's, and oftentimes Market Basket, don't you know? I'm in aisles that I've never met before because being keto and then now carnivore, there's nothing in these aisles that I've ever needed, so I've never had to go up or down them, even for Greg's standard American diet things. And the thing of it is that if you enjoyed naughty standard American diet items and now you're trying desperately not to, you may find yourself face to face with something in the aisle that, you can't afford. You don't want, you don't want I don't know why I'm burping. It's not like I've eaten anything. You don't want that trigger to start that craving. And then, you're up the creek with a broken paddle, if you've got a paddle. And so it's a very tempting, not safe place to be, because how much effort would it take to take that item and put it in your cat? It wouldn't take much effort at all. And so it's just one more thing that just kind of, in the silliness of all of this, there it is. You're standing next to it, especially if it's a cashier thing. And Market Basket is near an Air Force base. And so you've got lots and lots of people that get paid once a month. And when they do, they hustle on off to Market Basket, which is the best bang for your buck, and buy $400 or $500 worth of food. Sometimes it's a two-kata thing. And so sometimes you're waiting in the same place in line because you kind of have to stop where the aisles stop before you can cross into your next place, right? And so there you are with these, buy me, put me in your cart. You can do this in moderation. I know you can. I'll help you. Right. Not. So, you get put in a place where you weren't hoping to find yourself, and you've done a good job of it because you know exactly what aisles you're not supposed to go down in different times for your items. And so you've never been stopped there. It's just one more thing, isn't it? It's just kind of interesting. And as I told you, I noticed that the way the arrows start for me is not the way that I enter the store. When I enter, I do the produce part for Greg first. And although I do get my lemons for my warm lemon water, excuse me, I'm just trying to cross my legs and it hurts. So anyway, now it's past the frozen confections, and I've never had to go buy them for years. And there they are. And so I swiftly get by, and then I try to make sense of like which way everybody is going, because it kind of gets a little confusing. But who knew? Who knew that a grocery aisle would have the triggering effects that it does? Yet another roadblock to keep us from temptation and not being safe for the moment. So I hope that you all survive that part. For me, it was the frozen part, the aisles of other things, the items that don't need refrigeration, that have a longer shelf life, that sometimes come in bags and sometimes cans and things like that. That's at the checkout. And that stuff really isn't bothering me too much. But it's, it just is what it is. And so I just wanted to say I appreciate all of you that are remaining abstinent in your abstinent program of being an abstainer, and you haven't fallen to the it's okay. It's okay to be to eat in moderation, to be a moderator. Sure, there's no problem with that, right? I mean, one of my most beloved keto carnivore people is selling, the candy bars with wigs these days, and how sad to see it. It only took a second to see it as the the title of the video. I didn't need to listen to it to hear and use my name, my code, and you'll receive 10% off or something like that. So if you've remained on your food program and you've remained abstinent in what you're having, you could be keto, you could be carnivish, you could be keto carnivore, good for you, as long as you've maintained what you set out to be and you didn't throw your hands up in the air and say, I've been through too much, I had to have this because it wouldn't stop talking to me and I've suffered and sacrificed enough. Yes, I understand, we all have. But if you haven't caved into that, all the clapping for you, all the attagirls, attaboys, because this isn't an easy time. And so to come out of it the other side without the quarantine 15 or maybe 30, depending on how long your state keeps you locked up, it's not easy. And so everything that we can do to support each other through this, if you have had your slips and your cheats and your treats and your why nots, well, I hope you get a grip on all of that. Most of us had to learn how to do it without it, and to be better for it. And, cheats and treats, it only hurts your metabolism. It screws it up. If it could talk back to you, sometimes it does. If it could talk back to you, it'd say, what are you doing this for? You've made all this effort to do this, drop 12 pounds, and now you're cheating again or allowing treats again. Don't hurt yourself like that. It takes so long to come out of that nasty routine of cheats and treats and I owe it to myself, because your body, it is instantly addicted all over again. This isn't an easy deal to be addicted to carbs or sugar or anything standard American. It's not easy. So a lot of us did make the big sacrifices to get to being carnivore and saying goodbye to those things that we might have to stand next to in the aisles as we go to check out. It's not easy. Nobody said it was going to be easy. And then when they do that at you and they make you wait there and you're waiting for 8 minutes while they check out, somebody with an order of $500, it's very difficult. But it doesn't mean that you deserve that piece of crap on that shelf. And you don't want to do that. You don't. So I hope that you are able to, look straight ahead. Look at that person putting their items on the belt, right? Look at them and don't focus on these two, shelves worth of naughty items. They aren't there for you. And you've made it this far, so why cave now? Abstinence is such a gift. And when you make that decision that you're going to be abstinent, then you become a member of the No Matter What Club, right? And the No Matter What Club doesn't take a day off for a reward for doing something that looks out of the question for most people, right? You can do this. I know you can. So put your blinkers on, Or blinders. Put your blinders on. It's like you're the cattle and you need the blinders or the horse, And you can do this. And you know what? You know what your treat is? Your treat is to know that you did it and you didn't allow anything to fall in your cart and you didn't allow anything to get in your way. And you are on your way to yet another full day of abstinence. And there isn't anything that feels better than going to bed abstinent and waking up the next day knowing you didn't blow it for that dumb item over there. So don't be watching channels that are selling you keto treats and even carnivore treats now. This is crazy. And telling you it's okay. Just buy real food. Just buy real meat that hasn't been treated in a processing plant, like a steak or a dozen eggs or some nice organic cheese that hasn't been tampered with too much, or butter, or ghee. Get the good stuff. Be happy with what you have instead of, stamping your foot at what you can't have anymore. It'll pay off. You'll never feel better than when you are abstinent on your food plan. Gut-wise, head-wise, you've got this one. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you the next time. Not in that aisle. Bye-bye for now.